How do you do?
How do you do? How do you do again? Hello everyone.
It's been a long time since we've done a How Do You Do.
Do you like my drawing?
Do you like my drawing?
Hello. It's been a while since we've been on
Facebook Live.
live, and also we're gonna also put this on YouTube, which is gonna be exciting.
We started a YouTube channel, oh my God. So what's happening in Youtopia Wellness news? We actually thought we had the idea to do a little bit of chatting about what's come up during the week in Youtopia Wellness news. So if you've been on our Facebook page this week, then you would have seen lots of good articles. So I always try to, scan for really good content in regards to wellness, not just human wellness, but earth wellness. I very rarely get political, but there may have been a little bit of that this week, just a smidge. And of course, we also, we wanted to chat about what's come up and also let you know that tonight we have a yoga and live sound immersion. So if you're local with us here in Caboolture, then we would really love to have you come and join us. If you've never had the experience of a yoga live sound immersion, the yoga part of that is gentle, 60 minutes, gentle yoga. And then we have a really
nurturing
special...
the mind, the body and the self as we do yoga. And then we have very special laying down for meditation for about 40 minutes.
But before that, it could be standing up or laying down, we have the healing drum session, which is where I use my big healing drum and I drum it over your body that shake things out. And it's very much clearing. It's a shamanic drum. If you've never had an experience of a body drumming, it doesn't actually make contact with you. But if you've ever had the experience of just feeling bass go through your body, well, it's kind of like that. It's amazing how you can sense that in the vibration of all your cells.
Vibration and the resonance goes right through you. And so it can clear a lot of stuff out as well.
So besides the drum, then we also have some crystal bowls and some really nice chimes and beautiful soothing sounds, and all of that goes towards helping us to really clear the air and the energy of the space. And once you've got that beautiful space, you'll find that it's even more easy to relax. So
to deepen into that relaxation.
The yoga part of it, the physical yoga part of it, is about helping you to move and clear the energy and information in your body and harmonize what's happening throughout your body. And then on the energetic level, we take it that step further with the drumming and with the sound. And it's important too that we're actually referring to live sound, acoustic sound, and that in itself has an extra special quality that will help you to relax. Once it's lay down time,
really relax with a bolster underneath your knees and a blanket, an eye pillow, and you just go to La La Land. It's just beautiful. You go to dreamland where everything is possible and creates from that space.
And kids are welcome to attend to this, guys. So if you have a child or teenagers, 16 years and under, they're just $10 each to come along with a parent. And if you have a child that you're not sure whether or not they would actually like it, you can always try it out. And if they get to a point where they really are too restless, well, then you wouldn't step out of the room. But we haven't had that happen yet.
No, we haven't. And we've had boys and girls, age from
8
through
up till teenagers, and sometimes they fall asleep completely.
They do. And it's awesome. It's really good to see them relax as well, because not only adults but also children those days undergo with a lot of stress.
Yeah.
A lot of, so we need to all of us need to get that time to relax and honoring the body that way. And if you do have any questions, by the way, about any of what we're going to talk today, make sure you do contact us.
Yeah, please drop us a comment in the comments there. Actually, I think we might need to press a little button so we can see that. No?
No, that's to write a comment.
That's to write a comment.
So if you do have access to writing comment right now live, you can just write us a comment. Or if you have any questions, just write us a question.
Please say hi.
Please, hi.
So I have a little list.
There's a list. A list. Hopefully, it's not going to be too long. But, throughout the week, when you go and do your week, things comes to you in many different ways. And kind of following crumbs, like, what's that story where you follow the crumbs? You throw the bread and you follow the crumbs?
No, so that was Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel, but sometimes the crumbs are not to go back home. It's to go ahead into direction or guidance in a way. I don't know if I'm making sense, but we have been really enjoying a few things this week. That's been happening.
Yeah, have you ever had one of those moments when, someone said something, or you opened up a video and it was just what you needed at that time, and you're having, those coincidences.
The aha moment.
Aha moments. So, in the news, I want to give a woohoo for Ireland. Ireland joins France, Germany and Bulgaria in banning fracking. Woo freaking who, it's about time too. And how does it get better than that? With, how about Australia banning fracking? If
you don't know anything about fracking, check it out, and also check out what it does to the earth. It's a sad affair.
Yeah, so let's keep cheering on all the countries that are banning fracking. Yes. And if you have any opportunities to lobby where you are locally for banning fracking, get on that. That is awesome news. So good on you, Ireland and France and Germany and Bulgaria.
It seems to be happening more and more where big countries like that are actually moving and then changing their ways. And in our point of view, sometimes it's going too slow. But it's happening, so what else is possible?
So keep focusing on all the good stuff there, guys. Now, there's something else I wanted to cheer about, woohoo, on the plastic issues and waste problem. So let's not call it a problem. Let's how can we actually improve the situation with our plastic rubbish? What can we do differently? And so big cheer for the airline company Etihad. They just did a long haul 14-hour flight plastic free. And so they replaced 95 different plastic items that normally would be given out per passenger on their flight. And so we're talking about the cutlery, we're talking about the little toothbrush kits that they give you, and the toothpaste and
packaging.
The packaging that your food comes in. They replaced all 95 different items with sustainable alternatives. Yes. How good is that? So it'd be fantastic to see more airlines following that. And what else is possible? What other companies?
What else is possible?
That actually reminds me, if you remember, I'm not sure if it was last Christmas, but there was a very clever promotion by the SodaStream company. And they were promoting their machine that you can make your own carbonated, if you drink soft drinks,
that's right,
or even just carbonated water. And the very effective marketing strategy they used was, can I say the F word, do you think? Fuck plastic bottles.
There you go.
And so,
she said the F word.
I did drop that bomb. So if you could make that your little mantra, so anytime that you're out, if you could do your best to choose, if you need a drink of something, choose something that's been packaged in glass at least. Even though glass also does take a lot of energy in its production, it's still recyclable, and it's far better than putting more plastic into the world. So that's another shout out. San Francisco banned, the city of San Francisco, they banned plastic bottles. Yes, fantastic, keep it up. Let's do that here in Brisbane.
That's
Wouldn't
correct.
that be awesome?
And every time you have a coffee or you go and buy yourself a coffee, now some business, you bring your own cup. You bring your own cup and they use your cup to put your coffee in. Speaking of coffee, it's always good to have a coffee on a Friday, by the way.
Woo-hoo.
I hope you're enjoying your Friday. And speaking about plastic too, like at home, the soft plastic, you can recycle this and take it to Coles or Woolworth, and then there's special bins there where you can dispose of that, and that gets recycled, because a lot of our recycling are actually not getting recycled. So you got to find the right place to take your recycles so it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, the stuff that we're putting in our yellow bin, if you didn't see the 60 Minutes report about that, Australia, we are polluting Malaysia, unfortunately. China was taking our plastic rubbish and they were manufacturing it into some other things, but they are no longer doing that. And so the soft plastics, anything that's scrunchable, a cheese packet, for instance, things like that can be recycled. Do bundle them up, take them to Coles or Woolies and put them in the bins, provided there's an Aussie company called Red Cycle that collects that soft plastic. They bale it up and then they give it to another Aussie company called Replaz, who are turning that plastic into things like park benches, speed bumps, and
Flooring.
Yeah, flooring, and even roads.
Yeah.
Even roads. So, that some of it is being recycled, but they estimate that only 9% of what's going in our yellow bins is being recycled. So that's a pretty poor record. Let's do better, Australia, on that.
If it was up to me, this is just my point of view, I will pass a law that will not allow any companies that makes plastic to use resources of the earth, but to reuse the plastic that's out there. Come on, there's tons of plastic that can be reused.
And not only that, but there's lots of companies that have demonstrated that there are other ways of, creating containers that are not made from petroleum products, that are far more sustainable and environmentally friendly, plant-based plastics.
Yeah.
If anyone's got any info actually on, then how they go post-use, I would like to hear about that too. What else are we going to talk about with that? Is there anything else on the waste thing? Yeah, well, you know what? The first R, guys, if you're looking at reducing your waste, the very first R at the top of the list now is simply to refuse, as in choose something different than something that's been packaged in plastic. Choose to shop in bulk, or choose to buy a drink that's in a glass bottle, and let's the companies know. Let's send a message to the companies that we won't buy plastic anymore. It's not that hard to choose something else. Okay, next on the list, we have some videos to recommend. Do check out our page, Bruce Lipton. If you don't know who Bruce Lipton is, he's a biologist and biochemist, and he wrote a book called The Biology of Belief years and years ago. And
is this like the tea Lipton? It's not the guy related to the tea Lipton.
No, not Lipton tea.
No, it's not Lipton tea. It's Bruce Lipton.
Bruce Lipton. And what's awesome about Bruce Lipton and the way that he teaches, it's really receivable. It's easy to understand. He talks, he speaks in very plain language. And so even though the concepts that he's describing, are pretty out there on their science level, you'll find that the way the videos have been put together makes it, you just go, wow, and you can really get that easily. So do check out the Bruce Lipton videos that we've posted. I think we've posted 2 different ones this week, and they're not very long. So
no, they're not long, and they're quite
wow, they're mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, opening your minds. And we like those type of videos as well, because it kind of suits with what we do with the yoga parts, where it contributes, when you do any yoga classes, it contributes to yourself energetically, and you become a better person because there's more flow into the body, more flow into every system in the body, and then you open up your mind and you invite something that's much more, related to you that takes place. It's something you have to experience.
Yeah.
What else?
Real yoga. There's an article on the page this week, guys. Does red meat give you colon cancer? Now, this particular article that I've posted is an objective look by Mark Sisson of Primal Blueprint Health. And he looks at this most recent study that has come out, and he explains what it was that the study took into consideration, and what were the results, and what was it that they chose to has been focused on when they put the study out, and interestingly the things that they chose not to put out. So if you're made up your mind about red meat, maybe think again and have a read. There's a lot of propaganda out there, and I really appreciate the way Mark Sisson takes a no-nonsense, let's just have a proper look at the skies, and the way that science, can be delivered to the masses to make it look one way or another. So if you're looking for a really nice, well-balanced article there, check it out.
If every research or anything that has been done always has an agenda.
Yeah.
And usually we try to find a positive agenda, and that's great.
Who we?
Everyone. The medical part, they all want to do something, and sometimes there's other part that we feel, hang on a minute, it's something else is happening here, where we actually we cannot go away from the power that we can be into knowing for ourselves what needs to happen in our healing or journey in life. It's quite interesting. And so when you read things like that, does red meat give colon cancer? It's always good to have an open mind, and question stuff. Does this feel right to me? Is that oh yeah? And then you do your research, and the more you do research and connect to yourself with no point of view of the outside, just check in and say, okay, oh wow, yeah, I get this, I understand this, and then you have a growth that's happening. As people call it spiritual growth or whatever, but you are understanding things, and when you become more knowledgeable, you become more aware.
I think the main thing is, having total allowance. Everybody's at a different point in their journey with their health. And so for some people, it may not be right for them to be a meat eater. For some people, it may not be right for them to go vegan or vegetarian. And so being in total allowance and not putting anybody down for whatever point of view that they have or whatever part of their health journey they're on. Because really, in the end of it, if you're giving people a hard time and getting on a soapbox and being preachy, are you really going to improve the world? Maybe, I don't know. I can certainly get on my soapbox about certain things, and then sometimes those things are not serving actually. So always good to check in for yourself. Local earth health news. Adani, if you haven't seen what's going... Hello, Grace. We've said Stephanie's been watching for all. Hey,
yeah,
Stephanie,
Stephanie.
Where are you in the world these days, Stephanie? I would love to know. Are you back overseas, or are you in Australia? Grace, lovely to see you. Big kisses. Mwah. So, now you throw me off, Grace. Hello. But yes, local news. Adani and them trying to get the Carmichael mine going in central Queensland. We've got two independent Australian scientific bodies, the CSIRO and Australian Geoscience, who are saying, they're saying, you know what, we've had a look at the possible impact on the groundwater that could happen there in central Queensland. There's the spring water that they're talking about using for this mine. And these two independent scientific bodies are saying, the way they're looking at it, it poses alarming risks. Okay, can we live without air? Can we live without water? No, we cannot. Can we live without food? These are, David Suzuki would say to you, it's a no-brainer. We have to look after our air, our water, and our food. And if all of that is taken care of, it will be okay. Allowing Adani Australia focusing on still pulling coal out of the ground when we could be on the forefront of renewable energy. We have so much amazing talent and brains and opportunity and possibility here in Australia. So let's focus on that, shall we, rather than endangering the groundwater in central Queensland, which then endangers the reef, which adds to the global warming. What else is possible here? Really, truly.
Germany has actually stopped all of the coal factory.
Woo!
So that's what's happening in Germany, which is excellent. So it's a bit like fracking as well. A lot of countries outside Australia have stopped many things. And I guess what we need to do is, questioning, why are they stopping?
Wow.
Why are the countries are stopping? And is it better for us to follow suit so we can, maybe create a better world? What else is possible?
How does it get better than that? So, enough ranting from me.
Can you go into politics?
Can I go
please?
into politics?
We are right now. This is all politics, isn't it?
Yeah. This will be a political rant. So, the other thing I wanted to say.
So before you go, so all of those things that we're going blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
But this positiveness that is happening all over the world.
Yeah.
And so what we need to do is amplify that.
Yes.
And let that ripple effect carry everywhere in the world.
Yes. Hey, Anne-Marie.
It will be, let's be smart about things. We got to be simple, smart, looking after the earth, looking after ourselves. And, we are, me and myself as a dad with children, and I myself as a teacher, I want my future generation to be able to wake up in the morning and hear the beautiful birds sing, enjoy the nature that we have. So what else is possible in creating a beautiful environment where we all
laugh more?
You laugh
Absolutely,
more.
laugh more.
Laugh more. Enjoy.
I've got a joke for you. If you haven't seen this little post on the page today, it was a funny that I saw this morning. So this is for the ladies. Anything that you purchase this week or next week can be considered a Mother's Day gift to yourself.
Yes.
How does it get better?
I've hidden all my cards, by the way. Just kidding.
So, if you haven't seen any of the Mother's Day jokes going around, well, that's a good one to bring in. If you want to laugh shall we? Yes, that's the last thing that I have on my list. I have a list. Last thing on my list that I wanted to say, I posted earlier in the week, was a podcast that is by a guy, I can't remember his name, but the name of the podcast is Health Regained. If you have not discovered podcasts in your life yet, oh my gosh, there are so many good ones out there. Hey, Grace. Even Grace had a podcast that is so awesome if you ever get a chance to get onto that. Now, this podcast, Health Regained, he was interviewing Simon Borg-Olivier, who we're doing a lot of training with currently in our yoga. And this podcast is called Tense Less, Breathe Less. Okay? So in your practice of yoga, he's specifically describing how, Western and modern yoga has become more about, the fitness side of things. And so people are into, how much they can do and how much, they tend to go into the effort side of
physical
things.
Stuff.
And on the energetic side, that actually doesn't serve us. So if you think of your muscles, and when you're efforting and contracting a lot of muscles, it's a bit like a sponge. So when we contract muscles, when you squeeze a sponge, it pushes the water out. Well, when it comes to our muscles, if we're tensing everything, we're actually depriving those areas of blood flow, and we are sending signals to our nervous system. It's a bit like being in fight or flight. We're actually, you know, our system receives the message that, you know, we have to stay in this high alert. We can actually do things in a much more relaxed way and still build flexibility and still build strength. So you're not going to lose those benefits. You can just do things in a much more relaxed way. So if you haven't listened to any of Simon's work, so what's awesome about Simon is he's taken the ancient knowledge from the yogis and he's also combined that with his science knowledge. He's got a few degrees, including physiotherapy. And so he's put together a style of yoga where he's constantly encouraging you to check in where you can relax. And that might be in your face, for instance, the moment that you're in something, if things are getting a bit tense and your face is tensing up, just by bringing awareness to relax your face, relax your throat, maybe relax your fingers,
saliva,
creating saliva,
eyes.
And all that plays in with our nervous system stuff. I could go on and on talking about this. Do check out the podcast, and there's a really interesting reference in the podcast that Simon makes to a study that was done a while back. And so that too is on the website this week, on our webpage this week, our Facebook page. And so if you do happen to come across that, check it out. And I plan to do a Facebook Live with a friend of mine named Bex Thompson. And if you're not sure who she is, do look her up as well on Facebook. She does some awesome work. She has a group called Radiant Femmes. And she and I are going to do a Facebook Live in a couple of weeks discussing in and around the topic of that particular PubMed article I put on Facebook. I'm not going to say too much more about that because we really would be here all day.
Yes, we would.
And then I would miss my class, and then Cedric would miss his class because we've got classes coming up soon in Caboolture at the Hub. So let's wrap it up.
Yes.
What's happening tonight?
Yoga and live sound immersion.
Yoga and live sound immersion in Caboolture. So if you are local, we would love to see you there. And it starts at 7 p.m. where it's a 6:45 starting to arrive and getting settled, and 7 p.m. start in the King Street Memorial Hall, the Caboolture Memorial Hall, in the supper room that's at the back. The event page is on our Facebook page. So check it out and come along and join us. We really are a very friendly bunch, and we do not put our ankles behind our ears or anything crazy like that. It's really nice, gentle yoga that's accessible for all ages.
Well, I don't put my ankle behind my ear. It's a bit tough. I might put your ankle behind my ear. It's a joke, guys.
No, we're allowed to.
It's not a joke. Well, just like this. I did it. There you go. You guys,
Okay.
you rock.
You do. And stay well.
And we will do this again. How do you do?
Hang on a minute.
Next Friday.
I'm nearly rubbing mine all off.
And this will also be uploaded on YouTube as well.
We're going to have to learn how to do that.
Yes.
We will save things. So, yeah. What I really love, guys, is that I've had people who are tagging us, in different articles and videos and things that they know we'd be interested in. So keep that up. That is awesome. Thank you very much. And thanks for joining. How do you do?
See ya.
How do
Have a
you
great
do?
day.
How
See
do
you, Grace.
do again?
Do you have a person left as well or not?
Bye.
Bye.